During the early 1960s, the provincial government expressed a growing need for a new, state-of-the-art medical school in Ontario. McMaster University had long been considered a top candidate for medical teaching. In fact, some proposals for a Mac medical school date all the way back to 1892. However, nothing came of the school's candidacy until Dr. Harry Thode seized this exciting opportunity. Dr. Thode, McMaster's president at the time, was the catalyst behind the eventual formation of McMaster's medical school. He simply knew that McMaster would be at the forefront of this ambitious endeavor. In 1965, Dr. Thode hired Dr. John Evans to be the first dean of the yet-to-be-established medical school. Dr. Evans and a committee of esteemed medical executives collaborated on a mission to create a revolutionary new concept for medical education. Learning with an emphasis not on memorization, but on problem solving. There would be no exams, no homework, and plenty of early contact with patients. Within just 1 year, the first 5 faculty members were hired, and a year after that, the Department of Surgery was born. In the inaugural year of McMaster's medical school, Dr. C. Barber Mueller of Syracuse, New York, was recruited to become the first chair of surgery. In his first year as chair, Dr. Mueller started surgical grand rounds, gave countless lectures, and developed a new undergraduate curriculum. In 1968, Mueller's general surgery program was approved by the Royal College, and Dr. Gagich became the school's first resident. A year later, the first class of medical students began at McMaster, with most classes hosted at the Shadok campus. 2 years later, Dr. Mueller received approval from the Royal College to start an orthopedic surgery training program in Hamilton, and 2 years after that, he started an ophthalmology training program in collaboration with the University of Toronto. During his final year as chair, Dr. Mueller proudly ushered the first ever McMaster Medical School graduating class through convocation. Upon Dr. Mueller's exit as chair, the vacancy was quickly filled by Dr. James F. Lind. Dr. Lind was head of surgery at the newly constructed McMaster Medical Center and built his reputation on encouraging research activities. But Dr. Mueller's departure wasn't the only dramatic change to occur in the department at this time. In the same year, Dr. Evans left as dean, paving the way for Dr. Fraser Mustard to take over. Just 2 years into Dr. Mustard's tenure, the McMaster Medical School officially became known as the Faculty of Health Sciences. By 1976, the Department of Surgery had established its 4th major training program, plastic surgery, which now accompanied its existing programs in general surgery, orthopedic surgery, and ophthalmology. A few years later, Dr. Lind finished his term as chair. In 1978, Dr. Homer Beatty was appointed the 3rd chair of the Department of Surgery. In the years leading up to his appointment, Dr. Beatty had been busy making a name for himself in the Hamilton medical scene, pioneering the local practice of cardiovascular and thoracic surgery. During this time, he arranged for cardiac bypass equipment to be installed in local hospitals and hired and trained staff to operate it. Dr. Beatty's enthusiasm for, expertise on, and commitment to constant innovation was on display through his entire decade-long tenure as chair. With McMaster, Dr. Beatty brought aboard a long list of distinguished surgeons, spearheaded a program that would fund residents' research projects, increased department research as a whole, and alongside with Dr. Robert R. Hansabout, his eventual successor, oversaw the development of the department's merit program. As Dr. Beatty's time as chair wrapped up, Department Research Director Dr. Robert R. Hansabout was asked to serve as acting chair while the search for a successor took place. However, after 2 years of pursuit, hundreds of potential candidates, and 16 in-depth interviews, the hiring committee could find no better person for the job than the acting chair himself. Thus commenced the era of Dr. Robert R. Hansabout. While Dr. Beatty's passion for driving the department forward brought in state-of-the-art equipment, internationally esteemed practitioners, and ambitious research endeavors, it didn't come without cost. Dr. Hansabout inherited a department on the brink of bankruptcy. As such, Dr. Hansabout's first order of business was to instill reliable merit and practice plans, which eventually ushered the department into a state of fiscal positivity. Dr. Hansabout allocated some of the new surplus to allow for the facilitation of several administrative hires. This allowed surgeons to spend more time focusing on the founding pillars of the department: education, research, and patient care. In 1996, Dr. Hansabout really made his mark as chair. With the formation of Chairs Rounds, the the publication of the first annual report, and the establishment of the Surgical Outcomes Research Center, the department was thriving like never before. Over the course of his 11 years as chair, Dr. Hansabout helped hire 33 surgeons from various specialties, some of whom are still with the department today. In 1999, Dr. William L. Oravan of Brockville, Ontario, took the reins from Dr. Hansabout. Prior to his appointment, the McMaster alumnus was the Chief of Medical Staff at St. Joseph's Hospital and the President of the Ontario Medical Association. His ability to lead was evident, and under his leadership, McMaster's Department of Surgery continued to thrive. As chair, Dr. Oravan bolstered the department's training options with the establishment of new programs in neurosurgery, ophthalmology, otolaryngology, and urology. Through this, he also helped convert the department from what was largely a part-time clinical department into a full-fledged academic university department, staffed mainly by geographic full-time surgeons. In addition to his commendable leadership of the department, Dr. Oravan also served as an important leader for the department's various teaching sites. In particular, he was integral in advocating for St. Joseph's Hospital during a time when it faced certain closure, which would have ultimately resulted in the relocation of several McMaster programs and staff. His persistence was rewarded, and today St. Joseph's Hospital remains home for many McMaster staff, including Dr. Oravan himself. Over the course of his 13 years as chair, Dr. Oravan tirelessly built upon the work of his forerunners, while simultaneously creating his own distinct mark, a mark which thrust the department into the international renown it has today. In June of 2012, Dr. Oravan passed the torch to Dr. Susan Reed, the department's current chair. This transition was monumental from the outset, as Dr. Reed not only became the department's first female chair, but also the first female chair of surgery for any Canadian medical school, period. But Dr. Reed's ability to blaze new trails was not just on display for her hiring. In fact, in only 5 years as chair, she has already expanded the department's global focus, implemented an innovative financial health plan, established independent divisional reviews, fortified a strict set of professional guidelines, and put a great deal of emphasis on crystallizing the outward-facing profile of the department. Under Dr. Reed's direction, the department faculty roster has climbed to well over 300 surgeons. Its clerkship program has grown large enough to house almost 200 core students, and its residency program proudly contains just as many postgraduate students, a far cry from the 5 faculty and 14 students of 50 years prior. With a rich history comes a bright future. Whether you were a chair or a student, a professor or an administrative assistant, every single person who has passed through McMaster University's Department of Surgery should feel incredibly proud. The collective half-century effort of literally thousands of people has put the department in a position to remain a leader in surgical excellence for many years to come. Congratulations to all on a remarkable 50 years. Here's to 50 more.